You are listening to Maneza F8. Yo. Welcome to FKU Africa podcast. This is your host Maneza F8, man. Recording this chilling on a Friday. It's coming in tomorrow on a Saturday. Still need to go through some editing. I also do some editing on it and make sure that it comes out nice. Not some phone call or phone voice note video. It must look nice for you guys. Make sure that the video is good. So a lot has been happening, man, during these COVID times, man, and the Vacs, the job, we call it job now, man, because if they detect that we're talking about it out here, they are banning us. So we just give it a name, the job. So it's been weird, man. It's been weird. Africa is just a mess, man. They're nowhere near even completing a half of a quarter of vaccinations, man. Yeah, I just said it. Off the job. Yeah, I will cut that out probably. So they are not near anything. They're out of their mind, man. They don't know what to do. It's crazy. It's crazy. On the other hand, we hear that Chinese are flocking in Tanzania. Chinese are flocking in Zambia, in Nigeria, also here in South Africa. This thing, man, I had this video about Chinese, and think it was about a year ago, and just that relationship between Africa and Chinese, how it all started, how did they get into where they are now in terms of ownership of certain industries here in Africa, man, especially when it comes to minerals, your oils, and woods, and all these kind of things, man. How did they get into this? Where did all this relationship started? Because this relationship started way back when most of the African countries were still under oppression. So it developed and developed and developed. Chinese assisting with money, building infrastructure, making sure that people are being fed, and all these kind of things, borrowing money to Africa. But now it's turning out into them being imperialist, more the same as the West did. You see, so man, so I was just chilling, minding my own business, and I saw this video, man, and I was like, I have to share this. So my cousin Kai, he just tagged me in this video. I'm really into Pan African things and everything that has to do with Africans and the progression of Africa, making sure that Africa wins in owning their resources and owning their own money and owning their own wealth. So he knows that I'm passionate about those kind of things. So let me just play you this video and then we can talk about it and just share my mind about it and share what I think and how I feel about it. So you probably need to just slide me a comment and just if you have more of these, you can just send me on Facebook more, or you can send me on WhatsApp, and then I can just talk about it on the next episodes, or you can just leave a comment and just say what you feel. So let's play it.
With everything, engineers, surveyors, plant operators, drivers. Why do you need to bring somebody from China to drive a truck? Why do you need to bring somebody from China to drive an excavator? We have plant operators here in thousands who are jobless. Our people have closed down their shops. There's no business. 10 years, this will be a Chinese colony. Because you cannot talk of political independence when you have no economic independence. Economic independence is the most important thing. Others follow. And we must empower our people and make sure they are protected from unfair competition and mistreatment by people who do not belong here. And I'm not saying we have anything against investors. We want them to come, but we want them to work with us, and we don't want them to come and destroy the local capacity. And if we don't protect the local capacity and we allow the Chinese to kill the local capacity, they are quoting laws so that our people cannot compete. In another 10 years, when the entire local capacity is entirely destroyed, they'll come back now and raise the prices. And there's nothing we shall do because we shall have no capacity. So this bill intends to protect the local capacity. We want them to partner with us so that there's technology transfer. We want our engineers to be parts of these projects. These guys now have come, they are even hawking. They are opening retail shops, and we want to challenge the Minister of Interior. We want to challenge the Cabinet Secretary, who is very abrasive and who looks very active. All these Chinese who are here doing manual work, where did they get permits to come to this country? Those who are here and they have no business being here, they be put on a plane back to their country. Those who need to stay here, they can stay. Those who have skills that are not available locally. But gentlemen, are you telling me that we have no people who can repair tubes when there is a tire burst? Surely, these people have come too much. This is an invasion.
Yo, so man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So if you're watching this video, this is not only.
We were catching up with
Yo, man, just chill. I don't want to talk about you. I just chill. So, if you're watching here and you wondering if this is what is happening, or is this real, or what, man, this is real. It's happening throughout the whole Africa. Actually, it's happening throughout the whole Africa, and it's scary, man. It's scary how Chinese have so much power over Africa. They have so much power over Africa, man. It's scary. It's really scary. Like the guy is asking, I think his name is Richard. Is Richard Chakagawa, or Ka, Ka, Gachagawa. Yeah, Gachagawa. Richard Gachagawa. You need to check him out. I've watched some of his videos. So what he's basically saying is, do we not have a basic uh, skills to do these kind of things that Chinese do in Africa? We don't have skills for people to open spaza shops, tuck shops. Why do we need Chinese to be running those kind of shops? Do we not have skills for people to repair tires and all this, drive trucks and all these kind of things? Why do we have Chinese doing those kind of jobs where we have Africans who can do those kind of jobs? And he's also saying, I'm also with him on that. I'm also not against Chinese people who want to invest, to come and invest here, and but not come here and just to rip off our people just like that. This is what I'm also against. Coming here and act like you come in a sort of way of trying to build infrastructure. At the end of the day, what I see now is you owning the whole industry, bringing Chinese people to come and work here. Nah, man, nah. we have our leaders all over Africa. They act like they don't see these things. These things are happening before their eyes. You tell me that this gentleman is the only one that can see this thing in the whole in the whole Kenya or Uganda. No, in the whole Africa is the only one that can see this kind of things and this situation that Africa is in. No, many of them, they know what is happening. All of those who are in the governments, they know what is happening. What they want is to get that money from China and eat it with their families. This is what have happened even here in South Africa. We received 500 billion aid during the time of COVID-19. I think it was from World Bank or all these kind of imperialist and oppressors, financial institutions that they borrow money to Africa and come and take over whatever is happening in Africa and come and milk our resources. So what has happened is the 500 billion was here around April last year. 2 months later, reports are coming out. Money has been looted. This one opened, um, uh, got a tender. This one opened the company with the family names, with the wives, with the cousin, with the sisters, and then they ate all that 500 billion. 500 billion gone. 500 billion rands gone. We are even struggling now to purchase the vaccines, the jobs. Keep on forgetting. We are even struggling to purchase the job now. Our people cannot be job. It's not like me. I'm going to job. There are people that need it. There are people that needs to be jobbed, but not me. I don't need it. I take care of my immune. I do immune. I do eat immune, boosting food and herbs. So I don't really need the immune protector, which is the job. No job for me. I'm good. But there are people who doesn't know about these things, how to protect their immune, how to eat healthy, and how to lose weight and stay on the right shape. There are people who are obese. There are people who got underlying diseases that needs this job. I'm talking about those people. So they are nowhere. They don't even have enough money to purchase those jobs. Now we're sitting with that problem. The whole Africa, the little money that they have, they distribute amongst each other and eat. Everyone eats and then they keep quiet and then they start protecting each other whenever people are starting to protest and talk about these things. So now that the job is coming, uh, it came as in a way of whoever wants to take the job will take it. It's not compulsory. And then they introduce now when the time comes they introduce the term mandatory. Now it's mandatory. So there's a very thin line between compulsory and mandatory. So now they are telling you that the vaccine it's mandatory. It's gonna be mandatory for you to do anything without the vaccine. You're not going to get into certain shops, certain jobs, certain sporting events, certain restaurants without being job. You need that job to go around. It was made to look like you can only do it if you want to, but now it's becoming a compulsory thing in a way of mandatory. So it's going via mandatory to compulsory where it is going. So like for example now in the UAE, So they are saying uh, uh, mandates that the job for live events, they mandates it for live events. So what are they saying? In the United Arab States, said the vaccination against COVID-19 will be mandatory for people attending all live events from June 6, as country pushes a vaccine campaign which has consistently been one of the fastest in the world. So you see, from June 16, they are pushing it, and then it's going to be mandatory. You see that word mandatory? It's going to be mandatory to all live events. You see, all live events. You are not going to get into those events if you are not jobbed. You see, so it goes on and say the policy applies to all sport, cultural, social, art, exhibition, activities, and events. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Health said late on Tuesday. Wow. Wow. See, attendees must also present negative COVID-19 PCR taken at least 48 hours before the event. Wow. You see what I mean? You see, maybe while I'm talking, you can probably read more. But this is crazy, man. This is see what I mean. You will not be able to get in any event, and this applies to other countries as well, not only Dubai or Emirates. It applies to even I was reading now about what is happening in the USA. They are saying what is this sport in the EFL, where what they call football in the. They are saying that it's not compulsory for players to take the job. It is mandatory. However, however, you will not be traveling with the players that have jobbed if you are not jobbed, and you will be staying in the separate residence if you are not jobbed. And if you have found that you tested positive for the COVID and you are not jobbed, you are probably gonna pay for every day that the club pays you that you are absent healing, because they believes that if you are jobbed you're not gonna be sick. But we are also getting reports that even if you are jobbed, you can still go in to the hospital and be um, seriously ill. In some of the people have died while they are jobbed. So you see now these politics that are being applied throughout this job thing, like it's becoming more of a forced thing to people, and now that makes you wonder why is being so forced to people. Why is this job being so forced? I'm not quite a conspiracy theory guy, but it makes you wonder why is this job being so forced? They are being sneaky about it, and in some you can even go and research in some prisons. I think it's somewhere in Tennessee or whatever in the USA. They promise them to mostly it's black people that doesn't want to job all over the world. We don't want the job, most of black people. So they promise them that if you job and we have a light sentence and your crime was not that serious, like you are eligible for parole in the next 2 years or so, you can be released in the next month or two. You just need to get jobbed. In some state, they give you daga as well for a job. In New York, they give you beka for a job. They are bribing people for the job. Why? Why is it so? So, on a lighter note, I have this amazing picture, man. You see this picture? I got it from my guy Zuki-san. Yeah, I was just checking out his status and I saw it. I said, man, please send this to me. So this picture, you see, this guy is in number third, and this one is in number one. They just this is just a pic. I don't know what have happened, but I'll assume that they were racing or because I don't think this is academic. This is some sort of a sport or something. This is number one. But do you see the excitement in the celebration of number three? Now, the caption says, "Celebrate your own success without feeling intimidated by others' achievements." What I would say about this is that always remember your lane. Always remember your goals. Some they will get to the goal that you did set for yourself before you. But when you get to that goal of yours, a third or a second than the others that have been there before you, you must appreciate that goal. Let them go ahead of you, but you will get there. You will also get there, and now it's time to celebrate like you never did before. Like, for an example, you're coming out of school at the same year with your peers out of high school, and then you want to go to university and have a job as at the bank or um, in the government. You want to have a job in the government or in the premier's office, and you want to end up earning 10,000 per month. This is your goal. When you hear that someone that has come out of the same school as you at the same time, and then some they will get to finish the university before you for some reason, that must not delay you from your goals. That must not shake you from wherever your goal is. You focusing to whatever you want to achieve at that certain time. So the same people they get to the mayor's office or they get to work to the bank before you and get to earn 10,000 and come and tell you that we are earning 10,000 while we are still finishing your last year. That mustn't worry you. Focus on your goal. Stay focused on your goal. In the next, when you're finishing your university and then you go to that job and you start earning that 10,000 as well, this is what I want you to be because you are staying focused. This is what I want you to look like. You must look like this gentleman right here. His happiness says that he appreciate where he is. He appreciate the time it took him to get to number three. He doesn't care about the number one guy. His focus was to get to the finish line, and he did get to the finish line. He get to the finish line as number three. He didn't get to the finish line in the first year. He didn't get to the finish line in the second year. He did get though to the finish line on the third year. That's exciting. So we added the last segment. Whenever you are watching this, we're gonna have the last segment. Say, did you know about this? This is something that you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known in any way about this. You will only start to hear about this here. Did you know? Did you? So let's start by because I was talking about jobs and compulsory, but now it's just a light note of it. So I just now Google like compulsory versus mandatory. So that's just to understand what is the difference. But you will find that the difference is very little. If they are saying that it's mandatory, this is what they are saying. Strictly speaking, there is no difference between the two words. The word mandatory is generally used in a sense of binding. You are being binded to do that. It's binding you. On the other hand, the word compulsory is generally used in a sense of essential. This is the main difference between the two. Essential and binding. Those both things are forcing you to do something in a way. You are forced to do. So let's get to, did you know about this and you wouldn't have known? You wouldn't have known unless you come to FKU Africa podcast. So before we get there, let's just sorry, let's just talk about subscribing. I hope you did subscribe, but people that they don't really subscribe. When you are subscribing, you're not spending any money. There's no money that will be asked at the end of the month. You just have a Google account, you just subscribe and go and get the notification whenever the episodes come. It's not a matter of you love it or whatsoever. You just subscribing to draw my viewership. So this is where you actually subscribe. You see this red button, then you subscribe, then you click the bell and say all. That's all. You see how easy is that? And if you are on your phone, you are watching on your phone. Which phone is this? Let's say you are watching on iPhone 12. You are watching this episode. Okay, let's not watch. And then you just come here on your phone and subscribe. See, just that's that. You finish. So yeah, did you know? You wouldn't have known. Did you know that Meghan Merkel and Prince Harry, the Dutch of success, are distant cousins? Did you know that? Did you know that they are distant cousins? So let's read why. The old wives' tales that they were attracted to people who look alike. Our parents were dated, debatable. But the Duke of and the Duke of Sussex share more than just a marriage. Apparently, they share an ancestor dating 15 generations back, but they are not the first royals to be married and related. Hear more about um, royals who married their relatives. So that's just that. 15 generations back. Who cares? Doesn't matter, man. 15 generations. Who even knows that we are all related, for God's sake? But you didn't know that, now you know. That's where we're at. So, if we came to the end of the show, I'm thankful for you watching. And now we get to uh, make sure that, guys, you subscribe and make sure that if you need the job, you go and get the job. If you don't need it, you know that your immune is good. Stay out of it. Just see what is going to go on with this mandatory and compulsory PS. I love you guys. I hope you gonna encourage people to come in and watch and subscribe you by sharing to your Facebook, by sharing to your WhatsApp. Give it to your people and just explain what it is about. This is just fun times for us, just to share the information, just to share the love. You know what I'm saying? These things that we all need to know, that we need to understand. So yeah, fikiria kwa undani, ndugu, Kamaku. One love.